Hello there folks and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while, but we're back now with a bang, talking about all things men's health, men's mental health. Men's health, men's mental health is the biggest epidemic that we have at the moment as guys of a certain age group and demographic. And guys in general, really, we need to be talking more openly, talking more often, and generally addressing our feelings as much as possible. So this channel is dedicated very much to men's health, men's mental health, men's news, anything that stimulates us talking about issues which are a problem for us. And also do feel free to subscribe as well if you fancy it. Hit the old subscribe button at the bottom here. Share, tell your friends, whatever you fancy doing, Today's video is about a new survey which has come out recently by a group called Equimundo, who are a group which look at gender equality and fairness. They're suggesting that most men are attracted to misogynistic and extreme ideas because of the rise of what they see on social media. And they've surveyed just over 2,000 men in the US. Now, this is undoubtedly down to the rise of people like Andrew Tate. Jordan Peterson talks a lot about masculinity and what men should and shouldn't be like. So these types of personalities are what are attracting men online now, according to this survey. And that's what people think they should take their attitudes and their values from. So what do you think about that? Is that something that you agree on? Are these people more influential now than the traditional celebrities of what we're used to? They're also saying that they've noticed there's a shift away from gender equality. So they feel that men are hard done by from the people that they surveyed. Their research found that 46% of men felt that they should be the primary breadwinners for their families. Another one as well, they said that 41% of the people that they surveyed felt that men should always have the final say in relationship decisions. Now that definitely strikes me as something that has been watched or seen online from one of these men's influencers who are spouting the ideas of what a man should be like and what they shouldn't be like. We've seen, how far and wide the messages of people like Andrew Tate can spread from talking about the stuff that he's talked about. A lot of it, granted, is taken out of context, but a lot of what I've seen is quite anti-feminine and extremely misogynistic. Men feel like they're being suppressed, and these voices are talking to a generation of guys that feel like there's no one listening to them and that there's no one talking what they are thinking. So you can understand why they're attracted to that type of ideology if there's, the hope isn't there, effectively. The report has suggested, and also I kind of agree on as well, is that this idea of promoting healthy masculinity needs to be pushed big time. And that should start from when boys are relatively young and they're understanding what it is to try and be a lad or a boy or whatever it is. So that's kind of like what the report is suggesting, that masculinity should be taught and adopted earlier on. 48% of the guys say that they find their online lives are more fulfilling than their real lives, which is actually very, very sad when you think about it. The fact that your social media use, your online consumption, your Netflix use, whatever it is that you're spending your time online with is more fulfilling than your real life, then that's a really sad situation. The worst thing is as well is that all this feeds into the narrative of men being depressed and men being down, men feeling low. And one of the other stats that came out from this was that men from the age of 18 to 23 have the lowest levels of optimism about their futures and the least amount of social support to deal with that. So it's like a forgotten generation, really. 30% of them report not spending any time with people outside their own households in the past week. Here's another really stark point on this report too. Men who view traditional sort of roles on gender are more likely to have contemplated suicide than those who've got more flexible approaches. So if you've got a traditional approach to being a man, you're more likely to have thought about suicide, according to this report. So yeah, promoting masculinity from a young age, parents getting involved, schools getting involved, having lessons perhaps, addressing online relationships from an earlier point of view, maybe taking if you're a parent, maybe taking a more active stance on what your children are watching perhaps. Social media companies like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these platforms, Instagram, having more of a stronger viewpoint and a stronger stance on misogyny. We can talk about this till the cows come home, but misogyny online needs to be stamped out, quite simply. But it probably won't be, because it drives clicks, doesn't it? It drives clicks and it drives engagement. Creating ideas and creating plans that promote positive manhood, being kind, being genuine, being honest, being open. These are all ideals personally I strive to be like. We don't always get it right, obviously, but you know, you've got to try and be like that, haven't you? I think masculinity is such a wide-ranging and humongous domain now that there isn't really a one-shop solution to it. There's no like right or wrong with a lot of stuff with it. Misogyny obviously is completely wrong, but with masculinity there isn't really a kind of one-click solution to it all. There isn't one way of being. People are different. Everyone's upbringing is different. Masculinity, I believe, plays a huge role in how your upbringing has sort of taught you to think. But yeah, just wanted to come on here, share some of those thoughts, share some of those viewpoints for the research, and really get your thoughts on what needs to be done to address this spread of young men thinking more misogynistically. And that is the case here, according to this report from Equimundo. Yeah, hit me up in the comments below. Do subscribe if you fancy doing that as well. Much appreciated. I've got a podcast as well called Manzilla, which deals about men's thinking, men's issues, and that kind of stuff as well, with various guests on. So yeah, that would be great if you can do that. Much appreciated. Take care. Have a good day.